got an incredible program for you this evening. One of the most popular products within My Daily Choice is one of the highest selling brands, FuelFactorX, which is pretty amazing. I mean, look, how many of you know anybody who drives a car? I mean, I know it's a loaded question, right? Well, this product is absolutely amazing. It's got a very rich history. So one of the exciting things about this is we have this call streaming live in the Lifestyle Lounge. So for those of you who are seeing this in the Lifestyle Lounge, this is a product that you probably have an interest in, and to kind of share with you everything it's about is Chris Robinson. Chris Robinson is actually distributor number one in My Daily Choice. He's been associated since the very beginning. He's Josh Zweigle's best friend. He's earned over $7 million in My Daily Choice. So, one thing I learned at a very, very young age is if you want something, you find somebody who's achieved what you achieved and you follow him. So this is going to be a really, really great experience in listening to what he has to share. But he also has a really rich history with FuelFactorX, because prior to My Daily Choice, his previous company was a company that solely sold this particular product. And not only just sold it, but sold it around the world. He's got a great story. I'm not going to steal any of his thunder, but welcome, Chris. How are you?
I am awesome, man. How are you?
Doing great. Doing fantastic. Thank you
for being with us. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, thanks for being with us tonight. So I'm just gonna pass the baton to you. The stage is yours. Just kind of share, not only your story behind it, but lots of people are watching this that really need to get educated on what this product is, how it will, save them money, and potentially even make them money if they're interested.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. That's my favorite thing to talk about: FFX and making money. So before we even get started, though, I don't know if you've been brought up to speed. We're going to be doing some Q&A, so write some questions down, put them in the chat, and we'll make sure we get all your questions answered, because I know there's a lot of questions out there about FuelFactorX, and it's easier for me to answer your questions than guess what they are. So this is a family atmosphere. We're all family here. Put them in the chat. There's no dumb questions. If there are, we'll just tell you, and then you probably won't ask them again, so we'll just get that out. I'm just teasing. We won't say nothing. But anyway, any question you got, throw out there, and we'll handle that. So yeah, as Dave said, my name is Chris Robinson. For those of you who I haven't had the opportunity to meet or see at an event or be on a Zoom call with, I reside in Idaho. Yes, it's snowing here now. I'm getting depressed, but I kind of like snow every once in a while. I live in a town of about 247 people. I've got a wife, 4 daughters. I'm a farmer, rancher, own a construction company, own an excavation company. And yes, network marketing is what I spend most of my time on, as I have people that run those businesses for me. So just been super blessed to have found this industry in 2008, 15 years ago. I've been doing this full time for 15 years. Well, if you call it full time, I mean, when you travel around the world and talk to people, I don't really consider that work. But I mean, I grew up digging post holes and ditches. That's work. But this is fun, especially if you do it right. And I just had an incredible journey. So 2008 is when I actually got started in the industry, and it was kind of crazy how it happened. I grew up in an Amway house, right? I wanted nothing to do with network marketing my whole life, because from the time I was 5 years old till I moved out of my parents' house when I was 17, Wednesday nights at 7, the guy in the pink Cadillac was coming to draw circles on a board, and I had to be in bed, and I hated going to bed at 7 as a kid, but we go into our rooms. There's 5 of us kids at home. They'd do their deal. Most of the time, nobody came, but they'd still run the presentation. I could have drawn them circles when I was 12 and probably did pretty good with the business. I just didn't know what I was doing at the time. But anyway, so, I just share that because I wasn't excited about the network marketing industry with that, background that I had. And in 2008, everything changed for me. At this time, I believe I was 26 years old, 27 years old. By the time I was 27, I had my own construction company. I was building 150 to 200 homes a year. I was buying real estate, developing it, creating communities, neighborhoods. And I had 55 employees. I owned a trucking company by this time. Life was great. I was doing good. I was already living the American dream before I even turned 24, 25 years old. So 2008, however, was a lot like last year. Fuel prices double, inflation's kicking everybody in the rear end. All these things are happening. It's all over the news, just like it is now. And I had a problem. At that time, my fuel bill was $100,000 a month. 100 grand a month is what I was paying in fuel every single month. And then in one quarter, in 3.5 months, fuel prices doubled. So now I had a $200,000 problem instead of a $100,000 problem. And it was starting to sink everything I'd worked for. I had 18 over-the-road semi-trucks, was delivering flatbed and refrigerated, had a couple of box vans, lower 48 running every day. I also had a whole bunch of construction equipment, track hoes, mini X's, backhoes, forklifts, you name it, we had it, was running it. And so the empire was crumbling over fuel. So I spent every waking hour I had trying to come up with a remedy. I was actually looking to put in a biodiesel facility in my local area so I could save some money on fuel. I was looking at all sorts of computer chips and aftermarket parts and anything you could imagine. I was testing, couldn't find anything that really worked. And I walked into my buddy's office that had a car dealership, and he had a mechanic bay off to the side where he worked on cars. And I walked in because he knew I'd been complaining to him about fuel prices. And I walked in and he threw 2 of these at me. And he said, I found the problem to your fuel prices. It's right here. He threw me a few of them foil packs. I ran them for about 3 weeks. And at that time, I was driving a 2007 Dodge Cummins turbo diesel. And I tracked my fuel. We actually had software at the time that did it. We knew what every piece of equipment got, how many hours they'd run, the whole deal. And I noticed within about 4 tanks that I was over 13% better fuel economy. So I got super excited, but I also was very skeptical because I'd tried so many things that just didn't work. And so I went and bought some more from my friend, and I gave it to my equipment manager. I gave it to a couple of my truck drivers. I gave it out to some friends and family, said, just go use this stuff. Tell me if you see any difference. And after about another month, they all came back and they were saying, we're 12% better. This semi's up 15%. This backhoe's doing this, and everything was positive. And I thought, holy cow, I might have a hold of something here. But there was one skeptic in my life that no matter what, was going to tell me it didn't work. And if I could get him convinced, I was going to win. And that was my dad. My dad's a 6 million mile truck driver. He spent his whole, he drives the old square nose trucks with the cowboy stacks, hauling cattle around just old school, hard ass cowboy truck driver. And I gave it to him and he told me how dumb I was. And he said I was going to blow up his truck and all this stuff, yada, yada. But I finally talked him into using it. And he used it for about a month. And I was talking to him and he said, son, I don't know where you got this stuff, but if you can figure out how to sell it, you're going to get rich. And for a guy that's always told me that what I'm doing is wrong, that meant a lot. Maybe that's what my motivation was. I don't know. But I just knew at that point I had my hands on something. So the next morning I got up all excited, went down to my buddy's shop, asked me if I could buy the rights to the product. He informed me it was network marketing and ruined my entire life, ruined my day, ruined everything. But thank God I trusted him enough that exact same day we went down and met the owners of the company. They were just launching. Anyway, there's a whole story behind that too. We don't have time for that tonight. But that's how I got involved with network marketing as well as FFX. About a year after I joined that company, I'd been the #1 earner there for the whole first year I was in there. It was a startup. I come out of the gate swinging. And then after about a year, I got passed. And there was a new #1 earner. It was an 18-year-old kid from Baltimore, Maryland named Josh Zweigel. For those of you unfamiliar with that name, he is the CEO and founder of My Daily Choice. And he got involved in this industry at 18 years old. And I don't know that he had more than 1 or 2 months under 20 grand a month. The guy's just always screamed through the compensation plans and done extremely well with the industry. And through that, we spent about 8 years there together, 7 years together. I was there 8, he was there 7, I think. Anyways, we end up on the international advisory board. We're flying all over the world, launching markets from Africa to Europe to Asia, South America, you name it. We was doing it. And over that time, I literally spent more time with Josh than I even did my own family. It felt like we was always on the road traveling, and we really just created brotherhood, and we've been best friends ever since. And one day in 2014, he called me and told me he was starting his own network marketing company. And he laid out this whole vision with the house of brands and the Amazon of the home-based business industry and Amazon with leadership and all this stuff. And you got to put yourself where I'm at. I wasn't logging into a back office with like 1,200 SKUs like y'all have. We didn't have a website. We didn't have products. We didn't have a company name, but he's telling me everything he's going to do, which is crazy sitting here tonight because it's kind of happened. He's 90. We've done everything. We hit $1 billion
right before you did.
And so,
right after you did it.
So anyways, Josh and I, you know, and Jenna, we fired off MDC. Been a crazy journey. When I was in the previous company, you know, we sold somewhere around $100 million worth of this product. We do way more a month with this product in MDC than we did then, but we've only had it for about 1.5 years. So I believe FFX is going to pass HempWorks. I'll say it. I hope this is getting recorded and send it to Josh and Jenna because I'm claiming it right now. We're going to pass HempWorks one day. And, but it's just because, like Dave was just saying, look, everybody drives a car. Everybody complains about the price of gas. Nobody likes what it costs. Every time it goes up a dime, people are complaining. And there's no demographic for the product. And it's super easy to get all over the world because you don't have to register it to go in your body. There's no FDA stuff. There's none of that. So we can expand this super quickly and super fast throughout the world and just have some incredible success with it. So here's what I just want to impress upon you. FuelFactorX is not just a fuel treatment. Everybody thinks it's a fuel treatment. It is not. It's actual chemical reaction in the fuel. It's a fuel all-in-one fuel treatment. It's not a fuel add, it's a treatment. Write that down because everybody thinks fuel. Here's the difference between additive and a treatment. Additives add things to the fuel, like octane, like cetane, and that's where people come into problems with warranties and things like that. Octane is what makes gasoline burn. Cetane is what makes diesel burn. If you can't use a product in both gas and diesel, it's not going to be safe for the engine. At some point, it's going to extend that burn on the octane or the cetane. So that's important to know. Everybody on Earth in the next year, I should say 99% of people on Earth are going to buy fuel. They're going to be burdened with having to take and put money in their fuel tank and burn out the exhaust. The other good thing about FuelFactorX is as you know, political things progress and as our environment progresses, green's becoming a bigger deal. Green meaning going green, reducing emissions, do your part to what you can. And everybody's aware of this at one level or another. But nobody's willing to spend money to fix it. How cool is it that you can save money on your fuel guaranteed and also reduce your emissions by 30%? You realize if everybody put FFX in their gas tanks tonight, CO2 would drop 30% by morning. It's a fact, and it's been proven by science. FFX is Nobel Prize winning chemistry. It's not a farce. It's been around since 1973. You guys want like a little nugget that I never shared that I probably should more? When I was in Vegas just 2 days ago, I was telling some leadership about it. Like, why don't you say that like when you're doing trainings? I'm like, well, maybe I should. So here we go. This product was originally designed by 2 scientists that did win the Nobel Prize for discovering the organometallic, which is what's in our product. What we don't talk about a lot is they designed this product for a little conglomeration called NASA. This product is rocket science. It was NASA put these 2 chemists in to get this product developed because there's a booster on each side of a rocket ship and they weren't burning evenly. So they went out and sought a way to create fuel to burn evenly and perfectly every single time. And the way they did that is through a process called atomization, which means making things smaller. So this is how it works in a nutshell. I'm not going to go into science and dive deep like you have to have a master mechanic degree to understand this, because I don't have a high school diploma and I get it. So I'm sure you guys are going to be fine. How many of y'all have started a fire before? Raise your hand if you started a fire. So when you start a fire, do you go out and find the biggest log you can find, or do you start with twig or kindling or something? Smaller stuff. Why? Because at night's easier, right? So let's say for example purposes, your fuel cell is the size of a quarter. which it's not, it's way smaller. Once you introduce FFX and the chemical reaction happens in the fuel, your fuel cell is now the size of a dime. Therefore, igniting sooner, burning more of the surface area, and turning more into horsepower and leaving less coming out the pipe. That's why it reduces emissions and improves fuel economy. It really is that simple. There's several other ingredients like lubrications. There's lubrication agents to extend the working life of your engine. You know, and a lot of people, I get asked all the time, is this going to blow up my car? Is this going to hurt my engine? Is this going to do this? Is this going to do that? And here's what I can say. In 1973, fuel prices was like 30 cents a gallon. This product was not sold to the largest mines in the world for decades based on saving money on fuel. It was sold based on extending engine lives and saving them a few $100,000 on rebuilds every year on those big equipment, pieces of equipment. So that's important for you guys to know. So when people say, hey, is this going to hurt my car? And say, no, actually it does the opposite, because it's been sold for 4 decades based on the fact that it actually extends the working life of engines, not blows them up. And that'll help you guys a bunch, which is a 100% true statement. And that's where the product was from the 70s until 2008. That's a long track record of on. It's not sold in network marketing. We didn't go find the latest berry out of an Asian monkey and put it into a bottle to sell to people. This has been around forever, being used by some of the largest fuel users on earth. And it was repackaged for the first time into these foil packs and these 4-ounce bottles. And that's when I found it, and that's when it was distributed through our old company. Now, how many of you remember just a few weeks ago, or a year and a half, 2 years ago, all over the news, Putin's invading Ukraine. They're coming across the border. It's going to happen. I was sitting in my living room right behind me watching that on the news. It was like 11 o'clock at night. And they're talking about shutting down pipelines. Remember how blessed was that time? Fuel was like $1.98, $2.40, depending on where you're at in the world. And as soon as they come and start talking about shutting down pipelines, I called Josh and I said, are you watching this? He says, yep. And I says, you know what we got to do? He says, yep. And that same night, I called the manufacturer, told me I need to talk to Josh. We got to get this put together. And by the next morning, FuelFactorX was owned by My Daily Choice. And my whole life came full circle. So technically in 15 years, I've been in one company because that company is now here. And how cool is that with the marketplace? Are you guys seeing all these big companies, small to large, all different sizes, rolling into our marketplace? I mean, we did incredible things with this one product, and we did incredible things with just the HempWorks product, but now we have all these different brands rolling in. And make no mistake, here's what I'll tell you. If you want to get information out of Josh, just go play cards with him at like midnight in Vegas. I did that Friday night and I learned a lot. And I'm telling you, a lot of cool things are coming to this company then in 2024. And I believe we're going to double our monthly sales each and every month by the end of 2024, maybe even triple. And there was some people in Vegas, I can't tell you who they were. They own companies. They're looking at coming in. There's a bunch of companies already in the queue trying to get their products into our warehouse so we can launch them and really create what we're talking about with this marketplace of Amazon leadership. I mean, that's what's going to happen. It's not only going to help a lot of people with, from saving money on fuel to their health and wellness, to their weight loss journey, their personal development, everything. It's also going to help a lot of people make a lot of money and doing it the right way. This is why I love FFX. It is an IQ test. If you really think about it, it's an IQ test. This is how I sell it. I'll talk to my friend. I'll say, hey, you see this bottle right here? It's $60. Are you going to burn this 320 gallons of fuel? I said, are you going to burn 100 to 200 gallons of fuel in the next month or two? Yep. Great. If you give me $60 for this bottle and you don't save $150, I'll give you your money back. You find a stockbroker that'll give you 100% ROI and I'll give them all my money. If you can guarantee it like we can with FFX. So it's the easiest product I've ever found to sell, not even in the industry, out of the industry, whatever. It's super easy to sell. And the good thing is it works so well. And humans are, we're creatures of instant gratification, right? Sometimes we don't spend the 90 days to lose the weight, or we don't spend the 3 or 4 months to see if CBD is going to help with our cramping in our hands or whatever we're using it for, right? But if you go run 2 or 3 tanks with FFX, you're going to see the benefit and you're going to want to buy more. And the other thing, it is the most highly consumable product in network marketing. Anywhere. There's no other company that can say, hey, go land a big account and we'll, on a $300,000 a month auto ship, and we'll pay you like it's a distributor. Right? Nobody's buying $300,000 worth of weight loss or health and nutritional stuff month after month, year after year. So, and here's the other thing I want to impress upon you. Right now, as the winter's coming in, fuel quality goes down, especially if you're in a colder climate. So if you're sitting at home right now and you don't have FFX on the way or sitting in your cupboard or in your door panel, you need to get on, use some brand bucks, do whatever you got to do tonight, get you some coming, because another thing that happens in winter is more condensation. That's why there's more mechanical issues in winter. It's been proven forever. Winter's the best time to use fuel treatments if you're going to use any, and get your FuelFactorX coming and save oxidation problems that happen in the winter, poor fuel qualities that happen in the winter, and everything else that happens in the winter. So yeah, that's what I had to say tonight. I think I kept it under 15 minutes. Did I do it right?
You nailed it, brother. That was amazing. Awesome. Thank you so much. So you guys, a lot of good questions in the comments. We're going to get to a few of them and try to keep this in about 5 minutes. And here's a few that I think I can couple together. And for me, I drive an SUV with, you know, the 2 car seats. It's a luxury SUV. I was able to go from premium gas down to regular. Just that savings alone for my family on a monthly basis is worth its weight in the brand bucks that it costs, which, oh, by the way, is now only $49 for that bottle. $49. Oh, yeah,
brand bucks made it cheaper.
For sure, bro. So here's my question. Someone that's driving a high-end luxury SUV, or as Ginger out there in Washington wanted to know, can I put it in my Lambo? Can I put it in my Ferrari? This girl isn't just riding ponies. She's got these big-ass cars. No, I'm just kidding. And then Heather out in Chicago asked, can we put this in a smaller cylinder engine, like a 1.9 that's charging lithium batteries? Like, what's the breadth of uses that this product can go into?
There is no breadth of uses. If it lights on fire, this FFX will make it burn more efficiently and leave less pollutants. For example, home heating oils, gas, diesel, biodiesel, E85, heavy equipment, Lamborghinis, tractors, generators, boats, motorcycles, anything you buy gas for or buy fuel for. That's why it's called FuelFactorX, not Gas Factor X, because it works in any combustible fuel. Over the road trucks, you name it, it works. And you brought up a good point with that, going from, you know, premium down to low. That's like anywhere from 60 cents to $1 a gallon savings, and it's instant right now. I was just in Vegas. There were some people there they did actually had a Lambo. And they're like, what? I spent $200 and something thousand on that car, and I just don't want to ruin a 200. Well, first of all, if you did ruin something, it's not 200,000. It's just the $20,000 engine. Not going to ruin it. And we run it in multi-million-dollar pieces of equipment in the farming world and in the construction world. I promise you, no matter how much money you spend on your car or didn't, it will work in it. It's not going to hurt it. We have ASTM government standard testing we can provide in the back office to show you it don't change fuel specs. You're safe. So yeah, the breadth there isn't one. It's everything.
Awesome. And this kind of leads to the next question, because you are so brilliant at how you explain it, and you've been around it for so long, so it rolls trippingly off the tongue. But Donica in Canada had a question of like, hey, I have people that I'm trying to explain this to. How do I talk to the relationships that I know? I know we have this brand new, beautiful FuelFactorX website that is only about fuel factor. So being the brilliance behind this brand, you've earned quite a bit of money. Let's be honest. If we were going to the dollar store, you would buy 5 million items this year from the dollar store, right, guys? So you know how to talk about not only this product, but all the products in marketplace insofar as getting people intrigued and curious. What are some of the tips from the top that you would lay out for this team to move forward and rock with?
Look, so first of all, don't try to regurgitate everything I said. Most people aren't going to need that high level. And that's why I didn't say I'm not going into science and all that stuff, because you don't need that high level. Here's what I used forever until I got really good. Because I started just like you. I didn't know why the product worked. I didn't know how the product worked. I just knew it worked. And so when people would say, well, how does it work? I'd say, look, Jojo, I don't know. But all I know is it got me 13.5% better fuel economy in my truck. And I don't know. All I know is it got my dad 14% better in his semi. And I don't know. All I know is I don't know. All I know is, because you don't have to be an expert. Now, if you're trying to chase a trucking company or something, please do not use that line. You'll just be excused early out of the meeting. Which brings me up to another valid point. Don't chase commercial accounts until you know what you're doing. But when you're talking to friends and families, I don't know. All I know is everybody I talk to that's ever used this product is loving it.
Yep. Awesome.
And then refer them to that awesome FFX website. There's a lot of documentation and stuff on there.
Yeah. And Chelsea makes a great point. Chelsea out in Colorado, the videos do all the explaining for you. And, you know, Chris, you talk about the brilliance of duplication, and that really is what we're doing here. So we appreciate you, man. Any final thought you want to leave with this brilliant One Team Works that we've got going here?
Yes. Keep it simple. Don't try to overcomplicate. As soon as you start talking like a fuel additive expert, they're going to ask you to be one. So keep it super simple. Use the video in the back on that FFX site. Use that website. Use that for the people you're promoting to. And I'll share this one story, then I'll be done, because you brought up the video. And it's awesome because they duplicate super fast. When I first got into my old company in 2008, I made a video that was like 1.5 minutes long of me putting it in the semi, and I put it in another piece of equipment. And I just said, this is what it's doing for me. And I didn't know what I was doing. I was a contractor. I'd never been in front of a camera before that video. It was horrible. Worst video I've ever done. I was nervous. I was shaking. You could tell. And Josh passed me in the comp plan to be the #1 earner. That was the day I met him. And after that event, I walked up, I said, what are you doing? He's like, dude, all I'm doing is just sending people your video. Think about that, because they will duplicate super fast. My point is, we have awesome tools. We have capture page, we have funnels. Use the tools in the back office. And remember, you're just the messenger. You're not the message. Your conversation should be super short, pointing people to the information, get out of the way. Fortune's in the follow-up, do that whole deal, and you're going to win.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for taking time to be here. And I'm going to pass this over to our brilliant, beautiful Daisy May.
All right. Cannabis Cowboy. Thank you so much, Chris. That was epic. We have so many awesome products that I sometimes forget to use, FFX when I'm, if it like spills a little bit, or like I'm just going fast, or I'm getting gas. But I also love the fact that every single time I'm intentional about using FFX, and I kind of make a showy display at the gas station of putting it in and putting it on top of my car, people always ask me what it is. Maybe because I'm a female and they wouldn't expect me to know all that kind of stuff for cars. But guess what? I know how to save money, and I love saving money. So thank you, Chris. I love that it was developed for NASA. I already knew that the inventors won a Nobel Prize, which I thought was awesome. But developed for NASA, I think that's pretty awesome. So thank you so much, Chris. We appreciate you. And thank you, JoJo, for all those questions and answers. And now we're going to go into a little bit of fun recognition. We have our very own 10K Lolu Akinfulumi from Nigeria. He's up in the middle of the night to be on here to recognize his rank advancements, primarily with FFX in Nigeria. So Lolu, if you're there, unmute yourself. We'd love to hear you.
Hello, everyone, and good morning from Nigeria.
Good morning, Lolu. First of all, we just have to say how proud of you we are. We loved all of us. I think I speak collectively of everyone on the team that was in Miami. We just loved soaking up your wisdom, your energy, your excitement. I loved all the selfies, and I loved being able to film you going across stage. It was just so inspiring for all of us. And you go back to Nigeria and you literally light it up with rank advancement. So can you celebrate your team and tell us what you guys accomplished in the month of November?
All right, thank you very much. The month of November was a good one for the Nigerian team. We had Adams Musa Ibrahim, who ranked 5K and at the same time ranked 10K in the same month. We have Alima Ibrahim Abudu Mumuni. We have who ranked 5K. We have Fatima Abdullahi, who ranked 1K. Nuru Aminu Celia ranked 1K. Zainab Ibrahim Musa ranked 1K. Bash ranked 1K. Ibrahim Abubakar also ranked 1K. Idris Bashir also ranked 1K. And these guys are saying that they are going to go forward to ensure that they crush all the other ranks in the months to come, and also are working towards seeing themselves in Jamaica in April 2024. So congratulations, guys. This is just the beginning. If you can achieve this, every other person on the team can. And so let's work together so that we can all achieve together. Thank you very much.
Wow, you guys blow it up in the chat for Lolu. Give him a round of applause. Like you just like you had 8 rank advancements in the month of November, Lolu, and all of them qualified for Jamaica. Like that to me is like so wow. I'm so proud of you, so impressed, so inspired. We are grateful for you, Lolu. We're grateful for your leadership. And thank you for getting up in basically in the middle of the night just to inspire every single one of us. Thank you so much, Lolu. We're so proud of you. We're so proud of your team. We also had another 1K rank advance, Dr. Sky Davis. Congrats, Dr. Sky. And our top 10 for the team in November was number 10. We had Ibrahim Abu, I'm not going to say I'm as good as Lolu, but I'll try. Abubakar. Number 9 is Nura Salah. Number 8, Dr. Aaron Lukey. Number 7, Zanab Ibrahim Musa. Number 6, Idris Bashir. Number 5, Dr. Sky Davis. Number 4, Dr. Tracy Norman. Number 3, Ginger Tyler. Number 2, Aniko Baker. And number 1, leading the way, Lolu Akin Palumi. So congrats to everyone. You guys rocked it out. I'm so impressed, so excited for you all. And as we kind of wrap this up, just a couple little news you can use. We had an amazing Super Saturday. On last Saturday, we had Mark Aceta, our director of training. We had Jefferson Santos, Candace Bird Davis, David Skoltedi, myself, all training. That recording was posted in all the messenger threads and on the Facebook group. So if you were not able to be on, that was one of the best trainings we've ever had. I would highly recommend to finish off your 2023 and launch your 2024. What we do now is what will go and advance our 2024. And then also David and I recorded a new onboarding video. We have set up our Milkshake app for your onboarding. We'll be sending that out in the texting service after this call. So we hope you love it. Let us know how you love it. And to finish off this call, and thank you so much, Chris Robinson. First of all, I just have to say, love you, brother. You're incredible. Proud of you. And I also love the video I got of you at the end of the Miami Beach convention. You looked like a movie star. I got a video of him like on
you
stage.
did. I know when you're talking. I hate it when people say I love the video I got of you because I never know what's coming down. I know what one you're talking. Yeah, that was good. You did a good job with that. Thank you.
I have a lot of really funny ones of you, like in a dwarf outfit too. But I love the one I got of you on stage, like high-fiving everyone from the stage. The crowd was like wild. That was the coolest video ever. I will make sure and send that too, because it was one of the coolest. And I'm sending it over now to Kenny Rossi to put a bow on this amazing mastermind. Kenny, you there?
Yes, I sure am. Thank you so much, Daisy May. Thank you, everybody. My goodness, wasn't that amazing? Chris Robinson, one of the top income earners in our whole company. Lolu, out there in Africa and Nigeria, that's all because of FFX. Like all their volume is FFX, guys. The product we saw tonight. So when you kind of look at what we have going on here on Monday nights, it's all about benefits to you. What did we have the first Monday night? We had Sean and Ty with those amazing gut health products. My goodness, that was an awesome night. Then we followed that up with lean Java bean. Any coffee drinkers, we had one of the best coffees in the world. Then we had, what was that? Envy, the makeup, the spray makeup. My goodness, you can look pretty and do it so quick. She came on with no makeup, and in seconds she was spraying her face, and it was beautiful. I mean, so many good things. Then last week we had Exy Trim. Anybody that's drinking energy drinks, that was awesome. And then today with Chris and FFX, you guys, these products, we're not going to stop delivering great products every single Monday night. We're not. And so for you, what do you do from here? What we want to do is we want to give you benefit every single Monday night. So the benefits of this industry are very simple. The first is a true healthcare plan. Right? I look at healthcare as you taking care of your health, right? Most people think insurance is healthcare, right? That's after the fact, right? We give people a true healthcare plan with products that are going to change their life, not only the health of their body, but the health of their car, right? Because you're in that car, you're living that car a ton, right? We're going to not only take care of your body, but we're going to take care of your number one. We like to say your body's your number one vehicle, but getting around town, your car is too. The second benefit is additional unlimited wealth. Let's think about this. We're not competing with what you're currently doing to earn money. Whatever you're doing to earn money, we're adding an asset into your portfolio that has no limits. And not only can you help yourself, but you do it by helping others. The third benefit is home-based business tax advantage. Listen, if your friends don't have a home-based business, they're missing out. The second you join us, you actually make money. We show you ways. There's two tax tables, wealthy and poor. Now, the only difference is wealthy pay the government last, poor pay the government first. We jump every human being that joins us in the business into that wealthy tax bracket. We teach them how to write off things that they're doing anyway, cell phone, internet, meals, travel, attire. Unbelievable tax advantages. This will be the most tax-friendly income you will have. The benefit alone of the tax advantage is worth every friend and family member that you have. It's worth them joining us. And then the last advantage is freedom, and I'm going to leave you with this. I think I heard a story, Chris. I might even come back to you here. The money that's been created in this business, real quick, what are you doing in your hometown right now? What are you building in your hometown?
It's done, man. We opened it 3 weeks ago. We actually just built two basketball court, a gym that fits 2 basketball courts in it and 13 classrooms.
Wow. And the name of the school is after who?
My dad. It's the Ben Robinson Flex Space now. It's what the sign's going up in a week. Yep.
You guys think about that. We got a guy that joined our business 8 years ago. He's building a school in the town named after his dad. So that last advantage is freedom. And I want you to think about what freedom means to you. Like, what does it mean to you? Think about your life if you could just dream it. If you could just have it, what would it be? Where would you live? What kind of car would you drive? How much would you give back to your church? Would you build a school in your hometown and name it after your dad? I don't know. But in order to be free, you've got to align yourself with something that's limitless. And that's what My Daily Choice is. It's totally limitless. The only thing that's going to limit you and My Daily Choice is you. Everybody needs it from so many reasons. And so your job here today, over the next 7 days, is to make sure your brand bucks are loaded and get every friend you know on next Monday night's call. We're not going to tell you who's coming on because we don't want you guys to we want it to be a surprise, but it's going to be just as good as the other 5. So join us here every Monday night. We're going to have different ones for the next few months, for probably the next 4 or 5 months. And for what Chris said, heck, in 24, we got 10, 15 other companies coming. This is going to be incredible. We love and appreciate all of you. I'm going to send this back to Daisy May to bring us home.
Oh, Kenny Rossi. Yes, I love that so much. That was so good. Guys, if you've been inspired tonight, if you feel good about what you heard, use that energy to go around and spread the word. And, my favorite way to close the night is always to hear all of your voices. Please unmute and say goodnight.
Love you guys.
We
Good
appreciate
night.
it.
Good night, everybody. Thank you so much, Chris. Thanks,
Good night,
Daisy.
Paul.
Great evening.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
Night.
Good night. Thank you. Good night. Night.
Good night. Bye.
We love you, Lolu.
Lolo.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Lulu.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Bye.
Congratulations, everyone. Thank you.